Okay, I am fisting to challenge the whole world to do this. This is for awareness of not leaving your children in a hot vehicle. I have a single cab truck, which I will show you momentarily, and I'm going to sit in it for as long as I possibly can to show you just how detrimental and how hot it is to leave your children sitting in a vehicle. As you can see behind me, I have a single cab pickup truck. Okay, now to unlock it. We're doing this from beginning to however long I can last. And it's already sweltering in here because the truck has not been ran today at all. I actually stayed home sick from work today, but decided to do this anyway. And it is very hot in here already. And I already don't handle heat very well. Imagine how your child would feel. This is miserable already. Okay. So we're going to set this here, I hope. We'll see what happens. I don't think it's going to stay. Okay, well, let's try somewhere else. Maybe on the dash. Well, that's not a good spot, is it? We'll get it right eventually, even if I have to just sit here and hold it. I'm already starting to break a small sweat, and I've been in here now for less than a minute. So imagine how hot that it can be for a child. And my truck has been parked in direct sunlight all day long. Can't tell what's more hot, if I let my hair up or if I let it down. We're going on 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and it's getting hotter and hotter by the second. And I left the comforts of a 70-degree house where I was nice and chilly, actually, to come straight out here into the heat, which is most likely what most people do. They leave their home, they load their child in their car to go somewhere. Chances are you don't go out and pre-cool your car. Or if you're like me, you don't have AC at all. So you have to rely on the windows being down and finding ways of keeping yourself and your child cool. I have the privilege of raising a child, of helping raising a child that isn't biologically mine. I look at her as though she is mine. I could never fathom, ever fathom leaving her in a vehicle with the windows rolled up, or at all. But this is already miserable, and this is 3 minutes and 40 seconds. So we're going to keep it going. I probably won't stay in here for too long because, like I said, it's already miserable. But I challenge every single person that ever runs across this video, and I urge you to share it with everyone. This is a real person. My name's Jen. I'm a bartender. I'm a mother/stepmother. I'm a daughter. I'm a friend. Somewhere out there I have sisters. I wouldn't want them to leave their children in their cars. This is really hot. I can't tell you what the core temperature is inside of my truck because unfortunately I don't have a thermometer to tell me what the temperature is. I even have tinted windows and this is miserable. Tinted windows usually help deflect sunlight. So even that doesn't protect your child. from the unbearable, relenting heat that builds inside of a vehicle. And it doesn't take long. I'm already starting to sweat. And you can see it right there too. I'm getting nice and shiny. As I said, I left a nice air-conditioned home. I challenge you. I do. I challenge every parent, every sister, every brother, every aunt, uncle, grandmother, grandfather. If you don't have a health condition that would permit you from doing a challenge such as this, do it. Show the world how you feel being trapped, inside of a hot vehicle. Because I'm not trapped. No, I'm not trapped at all. I could get out at any given second. I have keys. My doors are not locked. But when you lock your child in your car because you forget, how do you forget the child that you care for, that you love, that most of you bore? You know, 90% of the women out there can have their own children. I can't, but I could not ever forget the little one that I take care of. That little girl is my heart and soul from the inside out. Everything I do is pretty much for her. We're 7 minutes in. And I can see myself getting shinier. That shows you just how hot it is. And I've said, I don't have AC. None. I've tried to have it fixed. I don't know what the problem is. We're still working on that. Eventually, well, hopefully soon, we'll have that remedied. But I have her in here with me every day, but I make sure the windows are down. She has juice. She's wearing cool clothing. Her hair's pulled up. Anything that can help to keep her body temperature low while I get from point A to point B. We don't take joy rides in my truck just to go. It's too hot for her. I leave work. I pick her up from daycare. And I come straight home. As to not have her in the heat for that long. Because even a short ride can be detrimental for a child if if that child gets too overheated. I mean, you saw from as soon as I got in here, it's hard to catch your breath. I don't have a drink with me. There's no cracks in my windows. I have vent visors, so just so you know that that's not cracks. I'm giving you an intimate view into how hot that this is. This is... I'm shiny. I'm nice and I'm getting shiny. And I put on makeup for a purpose. It wasn't because I like to wear makeup every day. Because I don't. I wear it to work. Some days I care, some days I don't. People see me, my good, bad, and ugly. I don't care. But I put it on to show you just how quick a person can get shiny. And sorry, I got distracted. A little ADHD, I guess. There's a fire truck across the street, hoping it's nothing too detrimental going on. I don't know if it's an assisted living facility or what's going on, but there's a fire truck there, and I don't know. I guess it distracts me from yammering too much for a second. It's really, really hot, and we're 10 minutes in. This is miserable. But I'm going to sit here for as long as it'll let me. Or as long as I can let me. And I'm not going to pause it. I'm not going to edit it. Hopefully the full video will upload. If not, then I'll redo the challenge. I'm not good with editing. But I didn't want anything to be cut out. I didn't want there to be any question that I've opened a door, turned on any air, had anything to drink. I mean, I know this is disgusting, but I don't know that you can see that, but that's sweat running down my finger. That's how hot it is. In 11 minutes, I have started sweating. And I'm 117 pounds. Imagine how a 2-year-old that weighs 31 pounds would be feeling at this point. And it pains me. It really, sorry, my hair's starting to get a little wet. But it pains me that there are parents multiple times a year, every year, that claim that they have forgotten their children in cars. How do you forget your child? I don't get that. I don't get it at all. "12 minutes and 45 seconds. And it's not getting any cooler in here. At all. And I'm moving around, I guess trying to get comfortable. Because it's not comfortable at all. Not even a little. My neighbors probably think I'm nuts. Why is this girl just sitting in her truck? Well, I mean, I don't get it. What is she doing? Well, you people out there, you understand what I'm doing. And if you don't, you need to do this for yourself. And post your own video of awareness. My makeup's already starting to run, and it normally does not do that. Of course, normally the windows are down to help cool my body temperature. I never thought, as a sane person, that I would, on purpose, just sit in a hot vehicle to prove a point. And I know this is probably going to be gross to some of you, but I mean, that's all sweat. And I really don't care if you think it's gross or not, because imagine how bad your child would be sweating, restrained. And I'm not restrained. I don't have my seatbelt on. And that's one more restriction on your child's body that, for one, enables them or disables them from getting out. Because some 2-year-olds do know how to unlatch their own car seats, and as dangerous as that is, luckily ours doesn't do that. But that's one more thing on their body that adds more heat. And it is summer, so chances are you have your child dressed in summer appropriate attire. But that doesn't mean it's summer appropriate to leave them sitting in a hot vehicle. I have sweatpants on, and a tank top, and socks and shoes. I'm trying to show you. And they're thick slippers. I don't know if you can see them or not. And excuse the mess in my truck, but, you know, so goes life. Sometimes life gets a little too busy to worry about what's in the floorboard. We're 15 minutes and 45 seconds into this video. And I can tell you that this is bordering on excruciating. I have sweat beading up on my face. Truck is in absolute direct sunlight. I don't get it. And for somebody that has, especially like the guy whose child was just found dead and they charged him and put him in jail, he took his child to daycare every day. How do you forget that that baby's back there? How do you not look behind you and check when you know you have a life that you're responsible for? I get up at night and walk into my little one's room to check on her just to make sure she's breathing. I don't have to do that. She's perfectly healthy. Perfectly healthy. Rambunctious. Crazier than anything I've ever seen in my life. But these are things that I do to ensure her safety at any given point in time, because you never know. She could have a pillow in her face too much that's restricting her breathing. I check on these things. If her leg's hanging off the bed, I quietly put it back on, just to make sure she's safe. I cannot imagine leaving her in this vehicle for any longer than absolutely necessary. My shirt, that's sweat. That's pure sweat. I'm soaking wet everywhere I touch. And we're 18 minutes in. Sorry, there's a lot of sirens and ambulances going off, and that catches anybody's attention. Especially when you're making a video like this, because you're hoping that someone didn't make the same mistake of leaving a child in a car. Yeah, you know, we're cool. Let's pull up to our friend's house, you know, our homeboy's house, our homegirl's house. Run in for a second, leave the little one in the car. I don't want to be bothered taking them in. You people make me sick. Quite frankly, if you got time to stop by your homeboy's house, your homegirl's house, and they can't accept that you're bringing your child in to get them out of potential harm's way, it's not a friend you need to have. Because then in the blink of an eye, that life that you brought into this world could be gone. Because of a poor choice, or forgetfulness, or whatever you want to call it. There's no excuse for it. I think every parent that forgets their child in a car should suffer that same fate. And I know that that's a very harsh thing to say. I do. But when it comes to children who didn't ask to be brought into this world, they were brought into this world and they trust upon you. They love you. They look to you for their support, their care, everything. And you neglect them by leaving them in a hot vehicle. I do think every one of you should fry. I sure do. I'm 20 minutes and 25 seconds into this video now. It's not getting any cooler. My shirt is getting wetter and wetter. Pretty much everywhere. I mean, I know some of it you can see, some of it you can't. The darker pink spots is sweat. Breathing is pretty labored. This is absolute torture. And I'm torturing myself. Excuse me. I'm torturing myself to put awareness out there where it needs to be. There is no excuse for the needless deaths of anyone, child, elderly, or otherwise, or an animal for that matter. Because this goes for children, animals, elderly. You don't leave people in hot cars. You don't. It's not safe. Especially for you women out there that can bury your own children. I can only assume that if you left your child in a hot car, you've done it on purpose. I can't have my own children. Please excuse me. But this is going to be a raw video. It would cost me tens of thousands of dollars to try to bear a child of my own. But some of you out there are lucky enough that you can have one child, five children, more. I can't. But the little girl that I do raise, I could never, ever do this to her. We're 23 minutes and 20 seconds into this video now. I am sweltering hot. My heart hurts just thinking about the torture that a child would be going through. Please excuse the sniffling. Do you see the difference in the pink? That's more sweat accumulating. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. I've got sweat beading on my arms. Hold on, I'll show you. I don't know if you can see it or not. I'm trying. Well, even if you can't see it, I mean, I'm beading with sweat everywhere. And I'm doing this challenge. And we're raising awareness. Because in about 40 minutes, I have to go get my little one from the daycare. And bring her home. And keep her cool. And keep her safe. as safely and quickly as possible. I'm really hoping that all of this uploads because I didn't want it edited. I wanted the whole video to be raw. I mean, I've got sweat rolling down my arms. This is absolutely ridiculous. I'm trying to see if we can get any kind of view. I mean, really? This is just my arms. And my neck. And now we're 26 minutes and 15 seconds into this video. And I'm showing you undeniable proof. Because I'm going to leave my arm sitting up here for a minute to see if it gets worse. I've got one arm pretty much sitting in direct sunlight. One's shaded by the cab, obviously. I mean, it's going to offer a tiny amount of shade, but